I have a question for the audience. How many people thought about augmented hearing before this conference? Okay, so probably about half the people in this audience gave any thought to the concept of augmented hearing. So there's some pretty exciting things happening out there in the world around augmented hearing, which a lot of people don't know about, and it is soon going to hit the masses. And I think for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to try and get you excited about the future of this particular technology area. Some interesting things happening when you go to the airport or you walk around cities these days. They're wearing these really weird little white wireless earbuds. More and more people are doing that. And people are saying, well, what do these things do? Well, simply, all they do is let you listen to music and make phone calls. Well, duh. You know, that would be what I would call a dumb bud, okay? But more and more people are starting to take these little, truly wireless earbuds and to use them in their life for many different reasons. And I predict that within 3 years, when you go to the airport, there'll be no wires anywhere. There'll be people wearing truly wireless earbuds, not just to listen to music or make phone calls, but to do some really intelligent things with them. And one of them is augmented hearing, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about me and my company very, very quickly. This is not a promo presentation. So Nuheara, we've been around for about 4 years. I was the co-founder. We're all about hearing intelligence. So we were the pioneers in augmented hearing. We got deep domain expertise in building game-changing hearing and audio products. Brought our first product, IQ Buds, to market at the beginning of last year. Just launched our second product. We're listed on the ASX. We've got a market cap of about 80 to 100 million. We live and breathe, every member of our team, we live and breathe hearing intelligence. So what is the definition of augmented hearing? Well, when you think about augmented reality, I took this out of Wikipedia, right? Augmented reality is a direct or indirect live view of a physical, real-world environment whose elements are augmented by computer-generated perceptual information. Well, simply, augmented hearing is exactly the same sentence, but you replace it with hearing and audio, right? It's really a concept that should be embraced by this whole ecosystem at this conference. So we talk about VR, we talk about AR. Well, I'm hoping, selfishly, that we'll be talking about augmented hearing, very soon in the ecosystem. It's a pretty exciting development because if you look at the growth of what we call the hearables sector, which is the sector that will carry a lot of this smart augmented hearing technology, it's about to explode. So Juniper Research predicts that by 2020, that's only 2 years away, there'll be 285 hearables in use, which is a 7-fold increase from last year. And what's really interesting about that growth curve is that they're predicting that 68% of hearables will be assistive hearables. And that's essentially a product that allows you to augment how you hear. And I'll talk about in different ways you can do that. But the bottom line is, by 2022, 100 million people will be using these assistive audio products or assistive hearables. So I would suggest to everyone in this room that augmented hearing has arrived. It's here now. You can buy products in the market that allow you to be able to control how you hear the world around you and connect to your digital world. That whole concept of the physical and the digital overlaying and controlling with your soundscape. There are products out there that can do that. We're one of the companies that are doing that. There aren't too many other companies out there that are in this space. But essentially, the whole concept of augmented hearing falls into two areas. One, you can use augmented hearing to enrich your lifestyle. And two, you can augment your hearing to enhance your hearing health. Two distinctly different opportunities, but both extremely large in potential. I'll talk about each one of those right now. So let's talk about enriching your lifestyle, right? Let me give you a case study. You're at the baseball, okay? You're listening to the game, you're watching the game, you're listening to the commentary through your earbud. You want to have a conversation with your buddy next to you, and you also want to take in the sound of the crowd around you. Right now, you can't do that. With our product IQ buds, or with the concept of augmented hearing, you can actually do that today. You can blend your surrounds, you can actually have a conversation with the person next to you, and you can also take in your digital stream, in this case the commentary, all from the one product and all engaging in the one experience. No taking out your earbuds, no taking off your headset, just being able to control it with, in this case, a tap touch on your earbuds. So that's the first thing, the ability to be able to blend your physical and your digital. Here's another example, which you'll be able to experience at the show here. You're in a pub, right? How many people go into a noisy restaurant or a pub? Doesn't matter how old you are, but it tends to, you get a little older, it tends to happen a little more often. It's really hard to separate the speech from the background noise in a noisy environment. I mean, everyone has that problem. You don't have to have hearing loss to have that problem. With augmented hearing, and in this case IQ buds, they give you the ability to be able to elevate the speech and drop the ambient noise. Okay? Being able to control the elements of your physical environment is a very important part of this augmented hearing concept. Okay? The third thing is being able to orchestrate your soundscape. And let me give you another example. You're riding your bike along the street. You're listening to your favorite tunes. What are you more acceptable to have happen to you? Truck bangs into you, or you run into another bike. If you had the ability to be able to have situational awareness, so in other words, have control of your soundscape, your ambient soundscape, but also listen to your audio stream, in this case music, then that's going to enhance your lifestyle, and in this particular case, make you safer. Augmented hearing through a tiny little earbud has the potential to do that today. So let me talk about hearing enhancement. Wow, this is a revolution that's going on in the hearing health space today. So if anyone knows anything about the hearing aid business, there's 5 major hearing aid companies in the world. They own 40% of the channel. They charge a lot of money for the products, hearing aid products. They do a good job for those people that have got severe hearing loss. But what about that 80 to 85% of people out there in the world that are hearing challenged, but they don't fit into that severe category? Well, a revolution has happened now where that particular consumer can now do their own hearing assessment through an app on their iPhone or on their smartphone, and then calibrate the product to their own personal hearing profile. It's self-assess, self-calibrate, and auto-personalize their hearing experience. So this is where augmented hearing is starting to move into the healthcare space, in this particular case, hearing healthcare space, which will then potentially disrupt or create a new market for products that can solve a problem for those people that have got mild to moderate hearing loss. This is no small market. Just in the US alone, there's 40 million people that fit into that category. Just remember, these products are not hearing aids. They're essentially those products that you'd probably buy before you get a hearing aid. So really big opportunities in both the ability to improve your lifestyle and really big opportunities for those people that are looking for a hearing health solution. So I've talked about where we are today, and where we've sort of come from in the last couple of years. So where's this whole augmented hearing space heading? It can go in lots of different ways, but I'm just going to provide you with a couple of examples, both in the enriching your lifestyle category and also in the hearing health category, will hopefully stimulate some ideas of your own. So obviously, if you've got an augmented hearing hearable or earbud, what you want to be able to do is allow that to interact with platforms that you use on a daily basis. So in other words, your voice assistants, the Siri, the Google Assistant, it's now possible, obviously, with certain products where you're just tapping into those particular platforms. It's basically divorcing you from your smartphone. And IQ Bud's platform or other companies' platforms allow you to be able to put your phone away and basically orchestrate your way through your physical and digital world by just touching on the hearable. Okay, that's the first obvious development, and that experience is going to be richer and richer as the years go on. The next thing is this concept of advanced augmentation. So every soundscape is different. Okay, you experience it differently because everyone hears differently as individuals. So the ability to be able to personalize how you hear in that particular sound environment will be a lot more sophisticated as the years go on. Okay? So the ability to be able to blend your physical and digital world will get smarter, and it will provide you with an even richer lifestyle experience. On the hearing health side, well, the concept of being able to use AI and machine learning to understand how you hear and then adapt your own personal hearing profile to those different locations in which you live your life, i.e. you're in your house and then you go into the subway, and the ability to be able to adjust your hearing experience based on those environments, not by touching a button, by it just happening organically. So there's a lot of work to be done in this area, but the on-the-fly, personalized hearing experience is the future. And it's very exciting, particularly for those people who've got some hearing challenges. The other area in the hearing health space, which is just, for me personally, it's just unbelievably exciting, is that there's a lot of people that really struggle to process the world around them. They don't necessarily have to have hearing loss. They may have processing challenges like autism or auditory processing or sensory processing disorder or Meniere's disease. Those people that are basically sound sensitive, who really struggle to interact with the world around them, there's a real opportunity to use augmented hearing to enrich their lives. So there's a real personal opportunity here to make a real difference in people's lives with this type of technology. Now we're seeing it on an ongoing basis at Nuheara, and it's an area that we're doing some research on, but it's very exciting to think that two little buds in your ear that give you the ability to control how you hear the world around you could fundamentally change the quality of your life. So the other thing I want to talk about in terms of the future is data. So this is not just a hardware product that you wear in your ear, and it's not just a software product that you wear in your ear. You can collect amazing amounts of data from the app on how people are interacting with the world around them. Okay? So you're getting measurements on their hearing profile. You are getting an understanding of what kind of applications they're using within the app to help the quality of their life. This kind of data is incredibly valuable, not only for us as a company to be able to develop the next generations of products, but also has commercial and personal applications. Imagine if you're able to build a network of people that have got autism and a certain level of hearing challenge and bring them all together into a community so they can relate to each other and interact with each other. So there's real opportunities around the potential data that exists within the software of these hearables and augmented hearing devices. So that's a very exciting area. So I just want to sort of finish off the presentation, then we'll have a few minutes for questions. Is that when you think about it, hearables or this concept of augmented hearing really have the potential to change the way hundreds of millions of people, and just in the US there's 40 million people plus, hundreds of millions of people around the world, to improve the way they listen to the world, the way they communicate with the world, and then the way they connect to both their physical and their digital worlds. So I'm going to finish off the presentation by just one little prediction. I mean, I'm standing here saying in 3 years' time, the majority of people would have gotten rid of their wires and they're all going to be wearing truly wireless earbuds around in their in their lives. But I'm going to make another prediction, and that is that most of those truly wireless earbuds will have some kind of intelligence built into them. It won't just be music and phone calls. There will be a large range of fantastic products out there that will have some intelligence built into them. And my prediction is that a lot of those will be augmented hearing products. Okay, so we've got 3.5 minutes to go. Thank you. Any question? Oh, okay. So you got a question here. What's your view on remote assistance in augmented hearing? So who asked that question? Remote assistance?
Don't be
it's anonymous. Okay, I was going to ask them. Any examples of museums, exhibits using sound as a core experience? Hands-free. Look, there is. What do you offer over Bragi? Let me start with the museum one. We as a company haven't had any interactions with museums or sports stadiums, etc., because we're actually too busy building consumer products that change people's lives. There's no doubt that there's an application for that. You know, obviously having a audio experience at a museum is an obvious application for it, but I don't think you're going to really need a lot of intelligence to be able to experience that. Sports stadiums, probably different status. What do we offer over Bragi? Well, Bragi at the moment doesn't do any hearing augmentation. I mean, that's the bottom line. They have biometric readings, they have some smart AI technology within their earbuds, but they're not today doing hearing augmentation as we understand it. Any other questions?
Any from the audience? If not, I have one. There's one.
Yep.
You're talking about healthcare and hearables.
Yep.
And I'm just wondering about any research into tinnitus.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so the woman over here asked about tinnitus or tinnitus, whichever way you wanted to pronounce it. We are not doing any specific research in that. We do know that our product can help people with tinnitus. Tinnitus has a pretty close association with hearing loss. I will say one thing though. One of the big opportunities in the hearing healthcare space is the concept of being able to have a platform with software solutions that enhance the quality of life of people that have different types of hearing challenges. So tinnitus being one of them. Those people that are sound sensitive. Maybe those people that have got hearing loss in one ear. So there's a bunch of different hearing healthcare issues that we could develop a platform in which the consumer could address those issues. Make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Oh, on the screen, yeah, okay. Are there any future features for here that would be great for hearables? Look, the future feature sets for hearables, some of them are here now. I mean, obviously translation is one of them. Translation on the fly. There's a couple of products out there. I still don't think the consumer experience is there yet. It's one of the reasons why we haven't gone down that path, because there's a lot of complexity around that. So yeah, but I also think on the augmented hearing side of things, It really is about just getting smarter in improving the quality of life that you have by controlling your soundscape. What do you think of Bose hearphones? Good question. I mean, I was at the big audiology show in Nashville about a month ago. The two main companies there that were doing augmented hearing were us and Bose. I don't know whether you've seen the Bose product, but it has some hardware around the back of the neck, wires going to an earbud into your ears. Bose is a great company, don't get me wrong. They probably will get into truly wireless, but they're not quite there yet. So I think we're beating them on form factor at this point.
Let's take one more, because we're breaking for lunch. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, take one more.
Oh, one more. Okay. Thoughts about the form factor and adoption, any stigma we're looking like hearing aids? That's a really good question. So as a company, we decided to just approach it in the exact opposite way that hearing aids approached it. We're all about, hey, we don't care whether you look like you're wearing an earbud, as long as it doesn't look like a hearing aid. I mean, hearing aid companies have spent a lot of time trying to make their products invisible. They're not there yet, but there's still stigma associated with it. But if you've got some sophisticated hearing technology in a form factor that looks like an earbud that hundreds of millions of people around the world feel quite comfortable wearing, even little white ones that look a little weird, we don't have a problem with that. So I'm hoping that people think about Nuheara as a company that brought really sophisticated hearing technology to the mass markets in a form factor that's socially acceptable.